happening? Oh, there we are, 7 o'clock, and we are here. And we'll just wait for a few people to come in, and then we'll get on with it. Hey, Mandy. Hello, hello. That's it. Oh, it's very quiet tonight. No, I can't hear you, Mandy. I can see your message, but I can't hear you. Is there anything I need? Hi, Nikki. How you doing? I expect everybody's enjoying this glorious weather. It's beautiful. Hi, Sally. Yeah. Your mic's good, Mandy, so you should. What you might need to do is you might need to go out and come back in again and go to settings, and then you'll be able to put your mic on. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Carol. Who's that? Who have I missed? I missed somebody there. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Di. Hi, Julie. Oh, wow. Everybody's just appeared. Everybody's just appeared. How fantastic. There we go. Hi, all this is Carol. It's on YouTube, but it's on my YouTube channel because I can't get onto the Art Inspirations YouTube channel. So it's Rachel Harris. I'm not sure if it's Rachel Harris or Rachel Harris Crafts, but you can find me there. And I will be on YouTube. There we go. Sharon, hi. Yeah, if you prefer YouTube, it's on my channel. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Karina. And there's our Mandy. She's back in. Let's see. What can we do? There, you should be able to talk now, Mandy.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, that's fantastic. Hi, Jill. Hi, David. There we go. Yeah, if you want to watch on YouTube, I'm on my YouTube channel, which is Rachel Harris or Rachel Harris Crafts. And I should know, shouldn't I, really? Oh, you're a robot, Sharon. Oh, my goodness. Oh, there we go. Claire's on YouTube as well. Oh, we're good. We're good. Righty. Well, I think I should probably crack on, shouldn't I, really? I think there's probably lots of people just enjoying the weather before it goes cold again. So I'm going to use the new paper pad tonight, which is in the shop and available and at a good price this evening if you fancy buying it. Now, I've used some of the sheets of paper, so I can't show them all to you, but I can show you some. So you've got the words, which are fab and really, really useful. And I'm not sure if it's all of the papers, but certainly, I think it is it. Yes, it is. All of the papers have colour on one side and black and white on the other. So you've got the choice of which way to go, or you can use both. And then when you get to this side, there's words again in black and white. So it's a really, really cool paper pad. I'm going to take those two out because I'm going to use those. And it's actually, it says it's 8 by 8, but it's actually a little bit bigger than 8 by 8. Not massively, but just fractionally, because I've had to trim the papers when I've been using them. So tonight, what I thought I'd do, oh, hi, Brian, is not make glue. No, I grabbed the wrong thing because I was looking at the computer and grabbing. I'm going to make this little, I don't know, what is it? Pen, pencil, brush, whatever you want to call it, caddy, that I've made using the papers. And I've also used some stamps from Zinski Designs, Elena Gazinski, and her designs are just amazing, and they are in the shop as well. So this is made very simply with folding the paper. I can't take credit for the idea because there's loads of people have done this and it's been around for a long time, so it's not something I can take credit for, but it's quite nifty. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And I wanted to do this one all in black and white. Now you can fold the sheets yourself, and you fold in the middle like that, and then you fold into the middle fold like that, and you do that both ways. Because it's pattern paper and I'm an old lady, I use my scoreboard to do it because I like to just get a slightly more accurate fold. So I've got 8 by 8 sheets of paper, squares of paper, and I'm scoring at 2, 4, and 6, and then I'm turning it round and I'm scoring at 2, 4, and 6. So I've divided it up into I think probably 16 squares, isn't it? And I'm going to do this one while I'm at it as well. Oh, hi, Owen. Hi. Right, let me do this one. So 2, 4, and 6. And then 2, 4, and 6. And you want to do 6 of these because that's how many it takes to do the doofer. Right. Then what I do is I just come in with my bone folder just to reinforce those folds. You don't have to, but I've just found if I do this, it just gives me a nicer finish and everything fits together a lot nicer. That's it. Oh, the weather's been glorious, hasn't it? It's been so nice. I couldn't believe how hot it was yesterday. Not quite so hot today, but it has been so nice. So I'm just reinforced all of those scores with my bone folder, and then I thought I'll give you some top tips of how I've done this with the patterned paper, and not being super duper at doing these sort of things. So what I did then to make sure my folds went properly on the corners is I've taken a pen and I've just put a little dot on each of these corners so I know where I'm taking the paper next, because otherwise I found that my folds weren't very accurate. So that's going to that point there. And even still, you know, I mean, I don't know what happens. I measure and I do all the foldy things how you're supposed to, but quite often it doesn't go where I would like it to go. That's it. So I'm just, oh, hi Sylvia. Just doing, so there we go. So those are the next folds, these corners. And then I fold these two in. And what I've been doing is, because for some reason accuracy is not my friend, what I do is if I go one way and it doesn't feel quite how I want it to feel, I'll turn the other way and one of them will fold nicely. And that's the one I go with. There we go. So I've got that. And then I'm just going to use my bone folder again on these ones, just to get some nice sharp folds. There we go. So I've got nice sharp folds everywhere. And then the next thing I do is I've made myself some little cardboard panels. You could use pattern cardboard, you can stamp it, you can do whatever. These are Zinsky stamps that I've used from the old collection and the new collection. And you need a piece of card and you need to cut it. If you're using the 8x8 squares like I have, you need to cut your little panels to be just a little bit shorter than 4 inches tall and a little bit narrower than 2 inches wide. And then they will fit in. So you slide your picture in or your piece of card in. It could be a piece of plain card if you fancy that. And then I just slide one side over the other. And there we go. That's one of the triangle segments. And I've already done a few of them because I thought maybe you wouldn't mind seeing this twice, but I thought 6 times might be pushing my luck. So there we go. And then all I'm doing is I'm going to stick this in. I'm using this glue tonight just because I know that it sticks quickly. And we'll pop that one. Let's have a look, which way up are we? I don't think that one matters too much. And so I'm just pressing that in place. I really like the black and white designs on these papers. They're all gorgeous, but the black and white ones are great to add a pop of colour to. These, if you're wondering, are sewing. I think they're quilters pegs, but they work really well for paper crafts and they're very inexpensive. So there you go. You can see I've got one space left. So I'm going to do that. Do all of that again with this one. So I've got my sheet and I'm going to take my pen and I'm just marking my corners so that I know where I'm taking the paper.
Now, Sharon said you would like to watch 6 times because it's standard.
Oh, Sharon, you're a woman after my own heart. Yeah, I'm the same. But I didn't want to push my luck.
I think I'm with Sharon there. I think, but I'm actually going to stick to the envelope for the orders, Rachel, as we discussed earlier. This would take me too long with each order.
Oh, do you know, I haven't seen the envelope yet. I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
Some lucky crafters have received one already. I'll make sure I send you one.
Thank you.
They're not the best, honestly.
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Right, so I've just reinforced all of those score marks just by using my bone folder. I mean, you don't need to do that, and you don't need to use the scoreboard, but I just do it because it helps me get a slightly more accurate fold than I would otherwise. So there we go. That's those 4. Oh, your envelope's gone down very well. Look.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. That's so lovely.
So I've done those, and again, I'm just going to see which one sits better, because I'm me, they don't both sit perfectly. Yeah, that one's the better way for me. So again, just reinforcing those folds with the bone folder, just so that they're nice and crisp and everything fits together nicely. And then again, I've got another little panel to pop in, and it's amazing how solid this all becomes when it's all stuck together. And those little cardboard panels really do a good job. That's it, that one's in there. And now I need to stick this one in here, and it's come together slightly better than the first one I did. Oh, am I the right way up? Yes. Right, I'm going to stick this one in. Oh, this is stinky glue, but it does do the job. Let's pop that one in there. Give it a little push. Oh, that's it. Right, if I grab some pegs just to keep this one in place. And then I can do the other side. That's it. There, so you can see I get that nice hexagon shape. And depending on how accurate you are, will depend on how much of a gap you're left with in the middle. I'll show you that first one I did. Let's just screw that top on. So my folding wasn't wonderfully sharp on these points, so I was able to fit a stick in the middle. And all this is, it's a lolly stick that I shoved in there, and I put, a little reel on there or whatever. It was just something I grabbed that fit on there, and that's what I went with. And then on the bottom, you can see I've put these beads to just give it some feet, because I like feet. I've got a thing about putting feet on things, but you don't have to. You can leave it flat. I'm just loading that up actually, and pop it to one side. So to make the base is quite simple as well. It's all quite simple actually tonight. Just you can use some waste card or a bit of grey board. What I will do with this, because this is not as thick as I would like it to be, is I'll cut 2 layers. And the best way to do that then, I think we can probably take those off there now because that glue dries really fast. There we go. So all you do is you pop your shape down on the cardboard and take a pen or a pencil and just draw around it. Just take your time. And that would help if I hadn't gone off the edge there, wouldn't it? Take your time, Rachel, and just draw around the shape. And they're slightly different each time. And I don't know if that's just because my folding isn't terribly accurate, but I did one for the last one and I thought, oh, well, that'll be great. I can use that for the live tonight. And I tried it on the bottom and there was no chance at all that that was going to happen. Right, there we go. I've got a shape which I can then cut out. And like I said, in an ideal world, I would cut this out twice. In fact, I may well do. We have time. I feel like I did at school. Only looked out the window for a moment.
And addition turned into calculus. Dawn was asking what you were doing. She'd missed part of it, so I was telling her it's made it's a craft tool, stroke pen, stroke pencil holder.
Yes, it makes one of these, and it's super handy. Actually. I'll do the fold one more time for you, Dawn. Just for you. I'll do the fold again. It's dead easy. So we'll take a paper. Now, like I said, these papers are just slightly over 8 by 8. So if you're doing something where you need an accurate measurement, you do need to just trim it down a smidge. It's, it's not much. It's only a little smidge, but you do need to trim it down. So there you go, look. Just a little bit on both. You'll have to turn it and do that side as well. There we go. So it's that much bigger than an 8-inch square. So we're getting more paper. So if you're doing it just folding it, you would fold in half one way, then in half the other way. I don't know when I lost my ability to fold things accurately. It's really bizarre. Right, there we go. And then you then do the same both ways, folding into the middle. And this is where on the patterned paper I kind of struggled a bit. And so that's why I started using my scoreboard. But that seems to, we'll see how accurate this is, won't we? So there we go. That's 2 into the middle there. Oh, I'm quite impressed with myself. And then going the other way. Or if you want to do it on a scoreboard, you just score at 2, 4, and 6 as you're going along. There we go. Just doing the other side. and we'll see how accurately I've done it. Well, not bad, not bad. But like I said, if you use your scoreboard, you just score at 2, 4, and 6, and you'll get a crisper mark. Right, where's my pen gone? Because I'm still going to do there and there and there and there, just so I know where to fold these corners in. So folding the corners in. So I've done this one completely without the scoreboard. I don't know if that was a good idea or not, but we'll find out. Okay, and then let's see. Yeah, so then I'm folding. I've done those 4 corners, and then I'm folding these 2 in. Just giving that a helping hand. And then I'm just folding these lines again. And then I need a piece of cardboard that is just under 2 by 4 inches. And that is not one. Well, here you go. I'll use a bit of scrap card just to show you how this fits together. So I think this might be 2. So you go just under the 2 wide and just under the 4 tall. Go, and hopefully that will fit. Hopefully that will fit. So then you slide your piece of card in into there. I've stamped on the ones I'm using for the pen holder. And then when you've done that, you just lift these edges so that you can fit it over the other side. There we go. And that's it. You've got your triangle segment then ready to make your pencil case. There we go. Oh, Crete. Hi, Michelle. Oh, how nice. Oh, don't apologize. It's all good. It's all good. I didn't do it a lot of times because I was worried that I'd drive everybody mad. But I think one extra time didn't hurt. And so then what I did is I glued 6 segments together, and then depending on how accurately I've glued them will depend on whether I can fit a stick in here, which these ones are quite accurately done actually. So I might need a thinner stick for this one, but with this one, because they weren't very accurately done, I was able to put a stick in the middle. And then all I've done is I've sat it on cardboard and I've drawn around the cardboard to get the base. So that's my base. And then what I'll do with the base is I would double this up. And also then I take some, these are just wooden beads, but any beads will do, and just stick them, one on each point there. I don't need to show you all the points, do I? So I do one on each point and then one in the middle, and then I painted it, just the base of it, and the bits that would be seen, I painted black. And that was that. And then if I do use a stick for this one, I've found a bead that will sit on quite nicely on this one. So when I fiddle about with it later, if I can fit that in, I will be putting that in. So that's that little project done. So the next one I wanted to show you. Let's have a look. The next thing I want to show you, again, this is not my original idea. This has been about for ages. Because it's all about paper at the moment and the paper pads, and Lou has done that lovely paper pad with Leonie as well, I thought I'd show you how to do a little paper weaving pocket that you can pop in a journal and pop whatever you want in. I've made some tags using this is Tim Holtz. Let me get the thing. Yeah, Tim Holtz stamps and stencil collection from Stampers Anonymous, and it's called A Secret, because I can't remember what it's called, and I can't see what it's called, but it's very nice.
It's number 24, Rachel, and it's called The Flower Garden.
Oh, thank you. Yes, very nice to use, and I was very happy with how my little tags came out, and all I used was the stamp and the stencils. So I'm going to pop these back in here for now, and I'm going to show you how I did this one. What paper chopper was I using? I've got two that I use. Well, I've got three. I use a knife and a ruler, but this is a really old Tim Holtz tonic chopper, and the other one I use is another really old one. This is a tonic one before. I think Tim Holtz does it. It's got Tim Holtz name on it now, if you get it. But I got this one when it was just a tonic one. So they're both really old. They're not anything dandy. Oh, it's so nice, Julie, isn't it? It's really nice. Right, let me show you how to weave this paper. So I've already cut some strips, and this is from the pad by Lou and Leonie, and you want 4 strips, and I've cut mine at 1 inch. They're 1 inch wide, each of them, and all you do, you only need a little bit of glue for the start, and then it's just the folds. So there we go. So I've got that one there at a right angle, and then I'm going to put this one, just a little blob of glue there. I mean, you could use plain paper, you could use all the same coloured paper. It really, whatever you've got, really. I'm sure it'd be lovely with the Tim Holtzy papers. Oh, do you know, I've done this the complete opposite way around to the way I wanted to do it, but never mind, it'll still work. And actually, it'll probably be easier to see. So there we go. So I've got there, and I'm going to have the point at the top, and then when I'm folding the papers, what I'm doing is I'm folding to the edge of the paper that's above it. So you see that's coming down underneath those papers. I'm not going over the papers. So you do one side, and then you do the other. and you just continue like that, coming down until you run out of paper, really. Just following underneath, oops, underneath there. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go underneath there. And then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go under there. And I'm going to go under that one. And I'm going to go under that one. Oops, get under. And that one. And I think that's probably a good spot to finish. So you can see I've just folded the papers all the way down. I'm going to pop a little spot glue under here, like that. That'll hold that in place. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to cut these extra pieces off. Like that. And if you don't like the pointy bits, you can take a corner rounder or any other shape you like, really, and just chop them off. You can put an eyelet in it, which is always a nice touch. And then when you glue it to your page, you just glue the top and the bottom, so that way your pockets stay usable. So if I show you like this, so I can just put things in those pockets. That could be anything I'm popping in there, and I can always pop something underneath there too. So that's another little doodad. Oh, this is happening a lot quicker than I thought it would. So there was one more thing actually that I wanted to show you that I really like doing with my pattern papers like this, because when we buy pattern papers, we pay a little bit more than we do for the plain ones, don't we? And we really want to get the most out of them. So one of the things that I really like to do is I like to get a self-adhesive sheet. I get a self-adhesive sheet, and any little bits that I trim off, I stick on my self-adhesive sheet. And then that way I've got papers that I can use readily, or if I want to die cut on here, I can die cut on here. And they're completely unique because they're made up of all the other little elements, which I really, really enjoy doing. So that's sort of 3 ideas for using all your papers. I've got some time. I've got 20 minutes left with you guys. Would you like me to go through how I've done the colour and things on these tags?
I think that'd be a fabulous idea.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me get some. I'm gonna get some cardstock. And what I'll do is I'll make a tag. Let's make a quick tag. This cardstock here is the watercolour cardstock that you've got on the site. It's quite nice. Yeah, quite a nice one.
Yeah, Leonie likes that one that we've got on. It's actually, we have it in our own brand, and also Pink Frog.
Yeah, it's really nice. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to cut some corners off. There we go. And then I'll get my foldy maker. Oh, come here.
Everybody's saying yes, please, to the tags. And Julie's saying if it was Leonie, we'd still be chunnering on.
I know, I got down to it tonight. I really did. I don't know what happened, but right, so there we go. I've made myself a quick tag. Let's mini inks will be perfect. Let's get these. I love being able to have these on my desk. It's not, I haven't got, and there's no way I would have all of the big ink pads, but having these ones makes it a much more affordable thing to have the whole colour range. Is fab. I love it. Right, so block as well.
So Rachel, somebody's just asking if you can show the fold again on the pocket. So I don't know whether you'll be able to squeeze that in at the end if possible.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll do that again at the end because it's really quick and easy. So yeah, I will. I promise I'll do that at the end. Right, where did I just put the stencil? Here it is. Right, so we've got it here. So we start with the stencil, and I want a relatively pale colour. I'm going to go for fossilized amber. Don't judge me with my dirty brushes. They are what they are. And I'm just going to take a bit of scrap card to put underneath here. So I'm just bringing this colour onto my tag. Not the whole tag, I just want a little corner of it. There we go. So I've done that. If I wanted to, I could splash it with water and create a little bit of interest that way, but I'm going to just leave it like this now. And then I'm going to take this stencil and I'm going to position it on my tag there, just looking through to make sure that it's not going to disappear off anywhere. And I'm taping it down. Any stencils that I have that have a detail that I want to then make a continuation of, I always tape down because you want that accuracy really. And I'm gonna go for peeled paint for my little bit of plaid or tartan or whatever you want to call it. There we go. And then I can take this off here. And this stencil is just ridiculously easy to line up to continue it. So you can, you could do a whole piece of paper with it quite easily if you wanted to. There we go. So just coming up the rest of that tag with that pattern. And you can see how seamlessly it carries on. I do like things that work well. There we go. And give that a little wipe, because otherwise I'm going to end up getting into a pickle with that. There we go. So I've got my stamp to do next. Where are we? So I like to start with a stalk, because I find it easier to position the flower head on top of the stalk rather than the other way around. Right. Let's put some ink on there, and I'm using the VersaFine Clair ink. And let's position this on here. There we go. Oh, Julie, it's a brilliant stencil. It just does a really nice background without any effort. Right, so I've done my stalk. Let's take that off. Grab a flower head and my ink. There we go. You've got the re-inkers in the shop, haven't you, for the VersaFine Clair, Mandy?
We do, yeah. And we've also got a special bundle price on them as well. You know, if you buy all 6, you get 10% off.
Excuse my head.
And we also do the sets. I've popped them on this week. So instead of just buying the pad on its own, to get the re-inker with it. So, you know, if anybody sells out, you've always got it readily available, haven't you? Yeah.
I am living on the edge, Dawn. Living on the edge. I know this will be the time it goes wrong. But no, the reason I mention the re-inkers is because sometimes it's really easy to forget that we need to re-ink our ink pads, and we can think that our stamps aren't working properly, or we're doing something wrong. And actually, all it is that you need your ink pad to be nice and juicy to get a nice image. So there's my stamped image. So what I'm going to do now, oh crikey, I wasn't planning on doing this, so my paint water's a bit dirty. It's very dirty. But it's okay. We'll live with that. Right, so I'm just putting a little bit of the ink pad, the fossilized amber that I used for the background, on my block there. And that's way more than I'm going to need. And I'm also putting a bit of the peeled paint on there that I used. So, and that's what I've done. So what I've done with all of these is whatever colours I've used in the background, with the exception of the green, obviously, I've used on the flowers as well. And it just sort of, it just works. It just makes it look more cohesive. Right, this isn't my favourite brush, but we'll be all right.
So, Rachel, there's a quick question coming from Julie.
Yeah.
Literally cutting strips for the plait as we speak, and she said, does it matter how long they are?
No, you just stop when you stop. I mean, I use the paper pad that Lou and Leonie did, and I think that's A4 size, isn't it? And I think that's quite a good length, the A4 length, to do the little pocket thing. So yeah, anything A4-ish. Right, so all I'm doing is I've got some water on my brush, and I'm dipping into the ink on my stamping block, and just painting. I really quite roughly. I'm not getting precious about it. There. Like that. Then I'm going to take the green, and with the green I'm going to do the whole of this bit as well, but it's not going to stay that colour, but that is a really good base to get me started. And then just doing the leaves and the stalk with the green. And again, if it doesn't quite go to the edges, don't worry about it. Or if it goes over the edges, it doesn't, you know, this is quite, it's quite, you can make it look quite artsy by not being too bothered about it. Right, there we go. So I've done that. Then I'm going to take one of my crusty cloths, and I could obviously, if I was being more sensible, I would spray that with water and put it on a piece of paper. But we got folding to do in a minute, so I'm going to just push on. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the walnut stain, and I'm just putting a little bit on my stamping block again, getting my brush wet, picking up some walnut stain, and I'm just doing the very edges of these leaves here, and then I'm going to bring this up into that green that I put on there, and it's just giving me a little bit of shading without really doing that much work.
Now Nikki's just shouting crusty cloth alert there.
Oh, my cloths are, they're ready to walk out of here really, but I reckon I can get a little bit more out of them. And a little bit of shading on the leaves, not too much, they don't need too much. There we go. There, that's that, and I'll put a little sentiment on there as well. Let's give that one a wipe. Lovely sentiments on this set as well, really nice. Did I put that inside here? Yeah, the sentiments are lovely. There is beauty in simplicity. Own your story and focus on the good. They're really nice sentiments. So I've done that. I was thinking, how am I going to get this straight? But I've got the grid work of the background. Yay. There we go. So that is that. And then really and truly, it should have some splatters on it, really. So let's do that. I'll tell you what. I have always used I've used a bleed proof white forever. I'm a big fan of it. But since I've tried this Kuretake white ink from the website, I just can't, I haven't looked back. It's blooming brilliant. Oops, that was a bit much, but never mind. There we go. There we are. So that is how I did my tags. Let me do the fold again. Let's put that out of the way. That out of the way. I've just got to put these inks out of the way because I haven't got enough workspace to do the fold with them sat in front of me. Get them out of the way. Right, paper. Let's get some paper. So I'm just going to cut myself some 1 inch strips. Let's get that water out of the way as well. Right, here we go. So 1 inch strip. I'll do another green one as well, actually. Why not? 1 inch strip. So you want 4 1 inch strips. Oh, David, thank you. I do appreciate it. I do wonder sometimes, and I think we all wonder sometimes if we're up to the mark and whatever. So it is nice to get positive feedback. Right, so I got my 4 strips. So we're going to take these 2 to start. Let me get that out of the way as well. Oh, sure. Careful. I'm just getting things out of the way to give me space. Right, here we go. So first 2 strips. Oh, Christine, you are welcome. You are very welcome. Right, so I'm taking these 2 strips, putting a tiny bit of glue there, and putting that one over that one at a right angle. Then I'm taking this one, and I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue and pop that one there again, so at a right angle again. Then I'm going to take this one, tiny bit of glue. Oh, so I just got to put the pin in my glue, otherwise it'll be gone. Right, there we go. And that one there. So you're doing like a crisscross, but just the first 2 pieces of paper. So like a crisscross when you're paper weaving, but just the first 2 that way and 2 that way. Then turn it so the point's at the top. Oh, thanks, Brian. Thank you. So there we go. So we've got the point at the top. Then we start with the outermost strip, and you fold it so it's coming underneath that piece. Okay. Then you go to the other side, and you do exactly the same. You fold it so it's going underneath that strip, like that. And then you just continue folding and going underneath each strip. You're not overlapping them or anything like that. You're just going adjacent to it. And you just carry on until you have to stop carrying on. So hang on, that one is not quite underneath, so I've just got to adjust the fold. There we go. So just keeping going in exactly the same way, only taking the paper from the outside and just going adjacent to the other pieces of paper. So, and I think that will be where I'm going to stop that. So then I take my glue again, and I just put a little bit of glue on the end there. just to hold everything in place, really. And then take a pair of scissors, and I can trim there. And trim there. So I now have that shape, and then you can use a corner rounder if you want to use a corner rounder on the ends. You could put a what did I put in my one? An eyelet in. If you want to put an eyelet in, you can, do whatever you like. And then once you're happy with that, then you can pop whatever you want in. Pop tags in, pop little bits of ephemera in, whatever floats your boat.
They're absolutely fabulous. They look great, Rachel.
So there you go. And when you stick it to your page, just put a little bit of glue at the top and a little bit of glue at the bottom, and then everything will keep moving in and out. And you'll also have a little tuck spot there that you can put something into. So, but they're really easy to do and really effective. Oh, I've got another tag, haven't I? I think I've made it too big to go in. Right, there we go. That is that.
Oh.
So I will put some pictures up of the pencil, pen, brush, ruler, do-de-mi-flop thingy, and the pockets as well. So thank you ever so much for keeping me company. It's been really lovely, and I'll see everybody soon. Oh, thanks, Nikki. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Thanks, Carol. Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Brilliant demo.
Thanks,
Brilliant.
Julie. Right, I'm off. Good night. Good night.
Night, Rachel.